Hello, I'm Steve Naveau, Human Resources Director, and I will be presenting the Memoranda of Understanding for the Oxnard Peace Officers Association. The purpose is to adopt a successor Memoranda of Understanding, also known as an MOU, with the Oxnard Peace Officers Association. This group represents approximately 230 employees, of which the bargaining unit consists of classifications such as police officers, police corporals, police sergeants, public safety dispatchers, and public safety assistants. The current contract with the OPOA expires June 30th of 2024. The contract that's being proposed would run from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th of 2027 for a 3-year term. The tentative agreement includes items such as health benefits, a market adjustment, retention payments, some changes to the field training officer program, some language on salary upon promotion, language around overtime, some language around collection of overpayments by the city, some language regarding physical fitness benefit, and ultimately the last item is a CalPERS amendment. The first item I'm going to talk about is the medical plan. And the city's philosophy regarding medical plans is that we should contribute money to an insurance plan. The next item are market adjustments. Currently, employees receive a 5% increase each year they're employed by the city until they reach the maximum of the range. Once an employee reaches that maximum of range, they're not eligible for any additional increases. In the current Memorandum of Understanding that ends June 30th of 2024, the OPOA received cost of living adjustments in addition to that 5% increase per year. The city supported the COLA in the current contract due to inflation and cost of living spikes the world saw during the global pandemic. In the proposed MOU, instead of these COLAs, the parties have agreed to modify the salary ranges by increasing the top of the range, or maximum pay rate, by 6% per year. Increasing the top of the range only affects those employees that have met the maximum pay for their current job. This 6% increase will ensure that during the term of the contract, the maximum rate of pay an employee may earn is competitive with our surrounding agencies and should help with retaining employees. This negotiated change will allow those who are at the top step of the range to be eligible for up to a 5% increase each year until they once again reach the top of the salary range. Retention payments. As has been discussed a number of times, the recruiting market for police officers is extremely difficult. The city receives about 50% fewer applicants per year than what it did prior to the pandemic. This is not just an issue with the city of Oxnard, but rather a national issue. Jurisdictions across the state are extending hiring bonuses from as low as $10,000 to as high as $75,000 in an attempt to lure officers from their current employers. Recently, the council approved the city to offer a hiring bonus of $20,000 in an effort to bring more experienced officers to Oxnard. The proposed retention payment is 4% in 2024, 3% in 2025, and 3% in 2026. These payments are intended as an enticement to keep officers employed with our city and forego leaving for a jurisdiction that is offering a hiring bonus. The once-a-year payment is based on an employee's prior year of service and is prorated for any new hires. Since this is a once-per-year payment, it is not subject to CalPERS reporting requirements, nor does it impact overtime costs. Field Training Officer. Field training officers, also known as FTOs, are responsible for training new recruits after those recruits have completed the required Peace Officer Standards and Training Academy. This is a significant responsibility as the state of California requires regular reports be completed on the new employee's progress in meeting standards required by the state. Due to this higher level of responsibility, employees who work as trainers have always received an additional payment for accepting the added workload of on-the-job training that they provide. The modification of this contract is to increase the incentive from $125 per pay period to $200 per pay period. And this additional $75 is paid when the officers are actually providing training more than 50% of the time in the relevant pay period. Salary upon promotion. The language being proposed here incorporates current policy and practice into the MOU. So the current policy provides up to a 10% salary increase dependent on the employee's experience and education when they receive a promotion. And again, this is language that is in other bargaining units contracts as well as in the city's current policy manual. Overtime. This is new language that provides that officers who are scheduled to work an additional shift on their regular day off will receive 2 hours of overtime pay if their overtime shift is canceled with less than a 24-hour notice. And this is the city acknowledging that canceling that shift with less than a 24-hour notice is a loss of anticipated income to the employee, and it's also to acknowledge that there is an impact to that employee's day off. Collection of overpayment. This is new language in this MOU as well, and this language will assist the city in collecting an overpayment in wages. Periodically, there is an error that is made on somebody's timesheet that results in the employee being paid more than what they should be. And when that happens, the city has to negotiate a payment plan with employees. This new language provides that the employee must pay back the overpayment over the same number of pay periods that the overpayment occurred. This language helps to expedite the repayment process for us. Physical fitness. So currently the OPOA receives $40,000 a year, which the group divides amongst their membership to pay for physical fitness programs. Generally, those would be gym memberships. They also use the money to maintain gym equipment at the Sturgis facility. So this agreement provides a $10,000 increase in this annual amount, which brings the total annual amount to $50,000 for the bargaining unit to both provide maintenance to the equipment at the Sturgis facility, purchasing new equipment at the Sturgis facility, as well as spreading that money amongst the membership for their dues memberships. CalPERS amendment. So the OPOA requested the city reduce an optional CalPERS benefit that provides employees with an enhanced disability retirement when applicable. This enhancement allows an employee who has a significant disability to retire and receive up to 90% of their pension tax-free. The standard benefit would allow the employee to receive up to 50% of their pension tax-free. The higher level of benefit requires an added contribution by employees. The OPOA seeks to reduce this additional contribution to their new members, since any change in the benefit would only affect future employees. Current employees would continue to pay the higher contribution for the enhanced benefit. CalPERS requires a separate agenda item to make this effective, so staff will be returning to council at a later date and time for the council to take action so that we can amend our contract with CalPERS. Fiscal impact. Using the labor costing methodology, the total estimated cost of this package for the upcoming 3-year period is $5,537,568. This is 12.92% of total compensation, and if averaged out over the 3 years is 4.31% per year. Due to the use of one-time retention payments, the net ongoing impact starting in fiscal year 27-28, which is after this contract expires, is $2,641,059, or 6.16%. The cost of this contract has been assumed in the budget forecasts, and as such, no additional appropriations are needed. In this final slide, we show both the labor methodology and the budget methodology for costing a contract. So the labor methodology illustrates the cost increase in each year independently as a percentage of base compensation, while the budget methodology compounds the increased cost over the entire term of the contract as a percentage of base compensation. So you go back on the budget methodology, you are constantly looking back at the base budget prior to the contract going into effect to arrive at your calculation. At the end, you come up with the same percent increase using the two methodologies. We also show in this slide how in fiscal year 27-28, after the end of the contract, how that ongoing cost drops down to 6.16%. and that's due to those one-time retention bonus that I had previously discussed. And with that, my presentation is complete. Thank you.